So I'm going to give you 10 challenges facing the 21st century church. Okay, here's a big one. Point number 8, challenges facing the 21st century church. Aversion to commitment. Are these right on or what? And again, I don't know who made this list, but they were really right on these points. Aversion to commitment. What is God's solution? How does the Lord address this? Oh boy, this is dangerous. I'd like to preach a whole message on this next scripture. 1 Timothy chapter 3. 1 Timothy chapter 3. Verse 1, this is a true saying, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. You know, religion gets the cart before the horse when it comes to good works, right? They think that doing the good works will get you saved or help get you saved. How many of you know Joe Cawley? And I'll tell this story. I don't think he'd mind. Is Joe still around? Joe Cawley. Joe and Ruby. They were from our church in Menominee Falls. And I know Ruby's gone. But Ruby was a widow in our church. And she, in the worst way, wanted to, she was in her 60s already, but just a lovely woman. And she wanted to remarry. And she had a boyfriend. He claimed to be a Christian, but he didn't rightly divide the word of truth. And I said, Ruby, don't do it. Don't do it. And she came to the conclusion herself not to marry him. And then she went to some singles thing and met a guy. I can honestly say, probably the nicest man I've ever met. Just super nice. His wife had MS. In 25 years, he cared for her. Just a wonderful man. And so Ruby's like, oh, I found him. I said, let's have some counseling sessions. And went through the gospel. Believe the death, burial, and resurrection, plus nothing. And Joe would always say, but our good works are important. I said, oh, of course they're important, but not for salvation. And every week he would come back. But our good works. And of course, Ruby's working on him all the time. Finally, they came back one week, and Ruby's just all excited. And she says, Joe got it. And you know, what goes in the preacher's mind? Yeah, Joe figured out what we want him to say. Right? Because he really wants Ruby. And you know, the virtuous woman's price is far above Ruby's, right? So I really then got serious about questioning Joe. And Joe really got it. And he trusted Christ, and no works, but good works are fine. Where do they belong? After salvation. And we performed their marriage. It was a hoot. A truck broke down right in front of the church and started on fire during the sermon. And someone ran in and crashed the break the glass type thing and got the fire extinguisher right in the middle of the ceremony. But Ruby and Joe went on happily married for another 20 years. It was just amazing. And Joe knew where the good works belonged. That's where they belong. Yes, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. But you know what? Good work is still work. It's still work. And there's so little commitment these days. Aversion to commitment.